Well, first of all, America is a global leader, and the challenge is really trying to stay in that position. You know, as I travel around the world, I can see that American business is respected. They're envious of our business processes, our talent pool, our organization. And so I think we have our act together. I think the real issue right now is making sure that we can get government, our government, on the same side of the table with business. And we have to think about this as a very competitive world. In fact, the most competitive I've ever seen it in my years in business. And you know, if we can just get government to team up with business, I think we can be very successful. And when I say team up, I mean thinking about the things that business needs to grow. If you want to think longer term, think education, think science, technology, engineering, math. You know, a focus on that would really help much of our manufacturing industry, for example. If you think shorter term, it's things like our tax policy and our regulatory environment. If we could just get business and government working together, I think we can continue to be, you know, the leading force in the world. Well, the first thing I'd say is be nice to each other, play nice. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. I mean, I don't know about you, but I get tired of the one-upmanship and the competition between the two parties. And if they could just turn some of that energy towards competing with the rest of the world, and again, being on the same side of the table with business, we could be very successful. So I would make it very simple. I'd look at 3 areas. And they're in reverse order of importance, but perhaps in the right order to approach, because it's the order in which I think we can really get something done. So the first would be an energy policy for the United States, and an energy policy that could last beyond just one administration. And we have a lot in common between the parties in terms of wanting energy independence for security reasons, for economic reasons. It seems like we ought to be able to accomplish something on that score if we could just compromise. The next would be tax policy. And in tax policy, you know, there's absolutely no reason why we don't do things that make American companies more competitive. When American business goes abroad, we just ask for a level playing field. And a lot of the countries we compete in, I feel like, you know, we're on their home court and the referees are wearing their jerseys, you know. So they don't care in many countries about how fair it is. In America, we shouldn't do anything that handicaps us or makes it more difficult for American business to succeed. And our tax policy is an area where we can level the playing field. And finally, I guess I'd say just the divisiveness that's in all the chatter and on the news waves right now is not constructive, and in particular when we address a problem as serious as the debt issue that America has. And the only way we're going to get through that is if we can turn down the rhetoric and both parties compromise and think a little bit about raising revenue as well as controlling expenditures, because the time to tackle it is right now.